Okay. I think we're good. I think we're up and running. I have no idea what just happened. We're good, though. I've been on the server the whole time. OBS just decided that it did not like this game. But we're jumping into it. MVP 2-0 up. They won the pistol. Then TYLOO went into nothing. You know, they just had pistols. So this is the first buy round we're seeing coming through. TYLOO were coming into it, starting out with the opening kill, looking a little bit better than usual. Zeta's able to take an extra kill and pull it back into a 3-on-3, but they know exactly where he is. This should be hard for him to get more full blinds. Somebody was in a little bit of danger. Has been able to escape the death stare of Zeta, who just keeps on going. Attacker in with the final 2 kills. Zeta got a 3K, but it's just not enough. TYLOO pull it off in a very, very close round. And now we swing on over 2-1. I've just checked. We seem to be up and running. Yeah, indeed. We're good to go on all platforms. Hello, people. Sorry for the little bit of delay. No idea what happened. Something really weird happened with a relay or the OBS, or I'm not sure. But we're good now. We're back in 2-1. This was MVP. Picked up the pistol. They won the second round where TYLOO ecoed. Now they push towards top mid with just pistols and a scout coming out. And it looks okay for them, finding 1 kill already. AWP of Excurate being closed in on. Doesn't look like he'll be challenged too heavily, though. With low HP on Zeph, he just wants to get out of there with the AK. So, all in all, so far, what I was saying in the time that we were just cut off is that TYLOO looked like a pretty weak team on Mirage recently. Like, the game earlier on where they stomped out on the T side, but it's their CT side that just looks really, really weak. Staxo having armor, he can actually get some serious damage done with that AK if he's given the opportunity. He's dropped the bomb. 50 seconds left. They have a scout over towards middle. He's got to be careful, though. Zeta knows he can be pushed in from over towards the A bomb site. Plays a little bit more of a passive angle. And this crossfire will work really well. If Staxo wins this kill onto Bintet, it should pretty much be over. That smoke kind of blocks him out from having any impact. He's going to creep out through it, though. The scout causing some damage. Okay. But look at that round. MVP come into that with nothing. Like, they've got pistols, they've got a scout, they've got a couple pieces of armor, and they're able to bring it down to a 1v1 in the end. TYLOO now, I'm getting a little bit scared on the 2-2 scoreline. And TYLOO in general, coming into this, obviously, like I said, they've had a weak CT side the last couple times we've seen them play on Mirage. The just general way that MVP are playing looks a lot cleaner. They definitely look like a much better team coming into this match in general and into this qualifier. And in this best of 5, obviously having a 1 map advantage gives them a really, really big edge. They'll get a full buyout now, and this is their chance to contest TYLOO. The one thing to say about TYLOO, I mean, their CT side's been super weak, but they have been really good on the T side so far. It was 16-14 in the previous matchup after, I think it was an 11-4 T half for TYLOO. And if you have an 11-4 T side half, on any map you don't want to allow it to go all the way to 30 rounds. Always looks a little bit shaky for you. MVP in here with the AUGs, like we said. This is where they should be able to get some damage. As they've got that full scope setup, they've got some pieces of utility. But even the lack of utility doesn't matter too much because they have those AUGs to make up for it. They can still take those ranged fights. Oh man, Bintet coming in, and he was really impactful in some of the other series that we saw earlier on as well. But as he comes in with an opening double, you need so much from MVP to pull that round back. The CT side, especially if it's over towards mid and jungle, then you can't even rotate over to the bomb side effectively. It makes it really, really difficult to get back to the bomb side and have any say in the round. You're probably going to see Staxo and Zeph save in this situation. Because a 2v4 retake, although Bentet's low, they don't have that information. You can't see how much damage you've done in the console. Obviously until after the round in general, but I think on ESL you can't see it at all in the competitive games. And so the quintuple AUG setup doesn't work out too well for MVP, as once again it's TYLOO coming out with the opening kills, closing out the round. and putting us over into a more favored scoreline for them. Even still, though, you got to remember, they're behind by quite a bit. They're already one map down. Mirage has been shaky for them on the CT side, so moving forward, we really need to see this being convincing. I want to see them win this map without it being too close. And indeed this half, you know, they need to get up around double digits. Excuse me, because if they don't get up to the double digits, if you see a team like Boot that's going to be able to bring them all the way to 30 rounds from an 11-4 deficit when they go to the T side, then MVP can do just the same. The two Augs coming into this round are pretty much the primary hope. You've got armor on HSK, so he can retrieve one if it's going to be dropped. But realistically, this should be TYLOO coming away with it. They've got 3 pistols that they're up against. You've armor on HSK, no armor on Sign. He's coming in with just the CZ, and then obviously a base USP on Zeta. Angling over towards the A-bomb site. Indeed, fully committing towards it as well. Luckily, there's only a 3-man stack there at the moment. They have gone back later on over towards a setup on B with just Staxo. And Zev's one of the players that's already on A. He's half HP, so the armor isn't really that effective. You're avoiding gun kick, but you're probably going to be taken down with 2 bullets anyways. Push comes through, and it's signed to open things up. A second connected as well. The CZ push into Palace has worked out for him. And now a 2-man advantage sits over towards the CT side. Those are some really big picks. Another on the board for Zeph as he peeks around the smoke. Takes 1 point of damage and then is able to return the kill. HSK is in a lot of danger though. 3 bullets left and he lands a headshot. So the bullets don't matter at all. One last chance. It's going to be on somebody. He's trying to rotate in and get a bomb plant, but he doesn't expect there to be players still here. And unfortunately that is going to be 4-3. As TYLOO failed to connect that round up against a relatively weak buy. I mean, only 2 weapons really coming into it. 2 CZs, one of which had no armor. So MVP looking pretty good early on, being able to contest in a round like that. And now as we go into the follow-up, TYLOO obviously able to get a majority of rifles out. Of AKs even. They've obviously got full rifles with a Galil in play as well. And we have to look towards them. They've got plenty of nades to use. All the smokes they could possibly want. And early on, angling towards a little bit of middle control. They've got Bentet down below connector as well. Zeph is trying to catch an angle on anybody walking up there and just puts the smoke in to make it a little bit less likely that they... That smoke's actually a little bit deeper than you would expect. Or shallower. Bounces off the stairs and comes back. Still serves its purpose. Smoke in window at least cuts that angle off. Another smoke towards connector. And TYLOO at this point, they've got mid control, but nowhere they can really take it for a little while unless they want to push through smokes. They could start to angle down short, but with 2 players below connector, that seems unlikely. And MVP just using their utility to keep the T side at bay and make sure they don't push all too soon. Another smoke has to be expanded over towards window, and that's costing them quite a lot. There's only 1 smoke left in play. Somebody is the only one with that piece of utility. So even as they push a bomb site, they'll have very little to cut off certain angles. Sign's able to pick up 1, spots nobody else is here. Gives over the information towards the B players. Staxo's on edge and ready to pick up 1 in the window. As the teammates jump out, HSK through the window is going to be taking down Excurate, leaving only Bentet. He's rotating down through short, having already been towards the bottom of connector. He was a little bit later coming in for this B hit. And left in the 1 versus 4, I think he was taken down. No, 1v5, right? Nobody died on the CT side. So a nice spot. You know, being able to capitalize their economy. Look at them building that up. 2,500 for Zeph. Staxo's got 7k. The fact is, now if they lose a round, they're going to be able to buy again. HSK could drop an AWP. Staxo could drop an M4. Oh! M4 over to a teammate. HSK is out of here. He's just been HS'd. And things not looking too good. With the Deagles already getting the damage done, and they're out in middle. They're looking for blood. Attacker's about to swing out to short. Wow, he was swinging a window, so a little bit too wide. Zeph's able to do quite a bit of damage. And luckily, he's still going to be alive, but the problem is he's caught in the corner. What do you really do? Eventually, Summer's taken down. Excurate's made it over behind the boxes, but with 24 HP left, the Deags shouldn't be getting too much more done. Somebody with armor can at least go in for a fight, but really you're looking for that first bullet connection at this point. Especially on range. Zeta's got an AWP, misses the shot. Nade gonna go through. Is that the Kobe? No, it's not. Kobe doesn't connect. The Molotov does stop them pushing towards the defaults of bomb site, though, as Sign picks up one. He's no idea there's a player coming through connector. Excurate's gonna get the angle, misses the first shot, but the spam down is connected right afterwards. Still, he's cut down by Jungle. Good damage done in this round already, though, with 2 kills on the board, and they're looking for just one more. That will put it into a pretty decent round for them if they can manage that. There you go. No more kills to be found for TYLOO, but still, I think that's a pretty decent scoreline. Pretty decent amount of damage done to the CT economy. Making them reinvest into weapons early on is where you want to be at. So the scoreline was 10-5, not 11-4, between TYLOO and Boot. TYLOO found 10 rounds on their T side, and then eventually finished it at 16-14, but it was super close, and Boot almost took them to Dust 2, the third map. This full buy coming in. TYLOO looking for primarily mid control again early on, just taking it slowly. So, at this point, rounds building up for MVP look pretty good, because we know that TYLOO didn't do too well over on the CT side in their last matchup, and that was against Boot, MVP, a team that's taken them down, and certainly looked like the best team in the Asian qualifier so far. That's why they found themselves in the grand final with a 1-map advantage. From this point, I want to see TYLOO getting up to around 9 rounds. They need to keep on rolling, because we know that we can't expect a whole lot from the CT side, at least not today. This map in general throughout the qualifier has been pretty bad for them. Although they've been winning it, it's been so close a lot of the time. Push comes out, and the spot from somebody means a kill's going to come through as HSK misses a couple of his shots. Staxo coming in on the rotation, though, is going to be able to pick up one sign on another with the AUG. He's holding over towards... I think he's in sandwich right now. As Staxo just picks up another. They're trying to hunt him down, but it's not working at all. Sign keeps on giving a 2-piece in the round as well to bring it 6-4. Shut down the TYLOO economy as well, not even allowing a bomb plant. That means they're going to be on an eco here. If a bomb plant had have gone down, I would have understood TYLOO. No, but they probably still wouldn't have went for a forest buy. They'd have like under 4k. So you'd have AKs, armor, and that's it. So this was probably the buy either way. It just means they'll have less money for next round and no armor here on most players. TYLOO barrel towards the B bomb site with the pistols. It's a standard B rush. Oh, but not too much to be done, actually, by the CT side. What's happening? The Deagles pick up all the kills. The plan for short is going to come... Oh, it's not actually going to come through. I was going to say that could be a little bit risky. Sign drops an A towards the back, and it doesn't do as much... Oh, he picks up one off his teammate's corpse as well. But again, nothing to be connected. And now in a 2 versus 3 retake, one has an AWP as well. TYLOO may just have pulled this round off. Sign down to 1 hit with a deagle as well. This should be a save at this point, even with the money still in play for the CT side. And I think that's what they're going for if Sign can get out of there alive. He's about to be peeked out, and he's being hunted. Summer slowly but surely walking up behind him, coming up through short. And there he is, catches him off guard as he tries to rotate over towards the A-bomb site, leaving only Zeta to save. An AWP in play, and nobody can get to him in time. So indeed, he will be able to carry that forward, saving them quite a bit of cash in the coming round. Still not the best of rounds to be losing. Although their economy allows for it, that was a full pistols, 2 pieces of armor on the TYLOO side. And they're able to walk away with the victory. Certainly uncommon. But that's why rushing B is such a good strategy that you should take out in every single matchmaking game. That's what the IGLs of MM have taught me. Six to 5. TYLOO got themselves AKs. There's an AUG in play as well. The Molotov stops that smoke from fully blocking off the window. But nobody's going to be peeking towards top middle. It just gives a little bit more information over towards the CT side that they don't have to be worried about short. Evidently, TYLOO think there's still a weakness towards the B bomb side as they want to rush straight on in here. Staxo, not able to capitalize on the player pushing out. Does some damage to somebody, though. Oh, his teammate's getting the damage done. Zev comes in with a quick triple on the board. Staxo trying to find anything. HSK comes in with more and leaves it all onto Summer. 1v3 lineup comes through. He's able to pick up 1, and Staxo on 3 HP survives and eventually finds the kill. 7 to 5. MVP come out on top of that round, and although TYLOO thought that there was a weakness over towards the B bomb side, evidently there was not. They're weak to the pistol rushes, but once they get into a round that has a little bit more structure, it's easy peasy. And I can kind of put that down to TYLOO playing it very very solo in a way. Like, they were pushing out not together, all by themselves, all by their lonesome. And now on 10, or 7 to 5. I don't know where 10 was coming from. We're going to see TYLOO attempt to full buy, I think. It's definitely the best of choices, really. You want to be contesting all the way to the end. They're able to get an AWP and an AK out of Galil as well. I agree with it. I think they've got a decent enough buy here that they can get damage done. The kills have been fairly evenly spread. Like, so the thing right now, this is a fine T side. Like, TYLOO are okay. With the 5 rounds on the board, they should be able to get up to at least 6 by the end of this. Indeed, if they win this one, MVP should still be able to get a full buy. And then maybe a weak one, so they'd probably go for pistols and armor. So TYLOO would be good for 7 rounds if they win this, and that would still be pretty decent, but the problem is, we know their CT side isn't looking the best today, and already, I feel like this is a pretty decent situation developing for MVP, especially with the opening kill going their way right now. TYLOO angling over towards hey, they get okay. HSK only gets 1. That could have been a little bit worse, but do they suspect Sign to be in Underwood? If they don't, this round is already over, and with Zeta baiting out on the AWP, I don't know if they even check this. Oh, they do indeed, dropping down behind default, but still Sign comes out on top of that kill, leaving only a Mac 10 to clutch the round at 1v4. And this is not it. That is not the play. CT side win the round, leaving TYLOO with no money for this. And what should be a 9 to 5 scoreline. Hey, Schnapples, how you doing? Are you being held against your will? No, I'm not. I'm here of my own accord. Are you tired from casting at 4 AM? That was Dean, god damn it. We're different people. We are casting partners, though, normally, so we duo. Maybe he's picked up a little bit of my stuff. I've picked up a little bit of his. I don't know. Would you rather... generic username. What's up, man? Would you rather have a head the size of a tennis ball or the size of a watermelon? Probably a tennis... No, probably a watermelon. I'm gonna say watermelon. Oh no. TYLOO's been dangerous on the pistols before, and they've actually got the bomb planted already. With an A bomb site completely overrun. A deagle pick in their favor as well with low HP on Zeta. This could be very, very dangerous. Look at this play as well. Ben, Ted, and Summer are going to be rotating all the way around through middle. This is not going to be expected. Not in a world. In a year of Sundays. Nade's coming out, and all they have to do is delay at this point because the flank coming through, but it has been spotted. Summer's going to take down one. Deagle not good for any more, unfortunately. And so the bomb defuse is going to be underway and is going to be successfully found. 9-5. This isn't too good. And indeed, chat's delayed. So there's a delay on the GoTV of about, I'd say, 2-3 minutes. And then there's also a delay from me to you of 30 seconds or so. Because we're relaying it through. It goes to Facebook, goes to YouTube, goes to Twitch. There is a little bit of a delay. Sign up aggressive on ramp. Oh, he spots the shadow. Is he going to try to jump down? He knows Summer's watching him. Look at that. He's completely ready for this. Shadow moves away. He knows Summer's backing off. Does he decide to aggress on the back of it? Sign playing very passive here. Surely he doesn't think he's actually being baited in. By a shadow. That would be the biggest 300 IQ bait of all time. Like, learn exactly where you can stand that they can't see you, but they can see the shadow. Back off, have 4 players waiting there to kill them. Summer's spotted. Molotov just going to go down to get him out of there. And he's safely away. Sign getting a little bit... Oh no, HSK got stopped by the nade as well. He couldn't move. This is so awkward. Over towards window. Somebody's got the angle. 1 and 2 on the board. And this is not good for MVP. The final round looks to be going over to TYLOO. A pick from Zeta doesn't really help the situation at all. He's still in a 1v3, super low HP. Shot going to be missed, and he goes in for another no-scope. Not going to find it as Excurate finishes it off. It's 9-6. But TYLOO were so poor on their CT side that I still feel like this is massively favoring MVP getting those 9 rounds on the board. Normally, this scoreline would look okay to me. I would say both teams have done their job, and they've gotten a reasonable amount of rounds on the board. But just based on the performance we saw earlier on from TYLOO, it's just not there on the CT side unless they've completely changed things. They've had a 1-hour break, so maybe that's fixed things. Roger that, Schnapples. I'll keep the code word in mind. Oh my god, team kills, they're throwing. No, this is just warm up. We just gotta wait for them to get readied up and then we'll be jumping into half number 2. So, we'll sit here, we'll see it restarting. The thing about earlier on, if you were watching the game earlier between Boot and TYLOO, you would have seen TYLOO get 10 rounds on T-side Mirage. And me pretty much say, well, I think this game's over now. And indeed it was. Unfortunately, it took another 15 rounds. We went all the way to 16-14. And I don't know if that's because TYLOO weren't taking their opponents seriously. But it looked to me like just on each team's T side, on CT side, they lacked structure. And just went for individual plays, which obviously worked out better on the terrorist side. And that's why we saw them both with so many T side rounds. I'm hoping coming into this that we'll see a much different situation between MVP and TYLOO. They're definitely not going to be underestimating each other. And as we come into the pistol round, we're going to see a P250 on Staxo, everybody else rocking the armor except for HSK, who's picked up a smoke alongside his teammate as they push in towards this bomb site. Unfortunately, TYLOO had stacked towards B, so it is going to be a Full 5v5 retake. The bomb goes down, but a small bit of damage is taken on Staxo. It's nothing too severe, though. Push forward, sees Summer find actually only one, but his teammates are there to pull it back a little bit as Attacker picks up one, BenTeT on another. This could be the end as Staxo is left alone, 1 versus 4, and even with that P250, it's not going to be enough. The defuse is going to be coming through, and as it does, TYLOO close in the gap on that scoreline and bring it 9-7. With MVP presumably taking an eco, but they could force buy here if they really wanted to. I'd rather just see them carry the money forward, though. Maybe pistols upgraded, but they do call a pause to coordinate that. Okay, an AK is going to be bought up. But it might be a hero AK. Looks like it is. Going to be just the hero AK buy with pistols to back it up. Armor on Zeph. Gives them a decent chance to connect the victory here. Or to at least do damage to the CT economy. They still have a little bit of money for the next round as well to take out 3 weapons. Zeph goes down to 50 HP on the back of a nade early on. Not what we like to see in a round like this. The guy with the only guy with the armor and with the AK is taken down low, making it so much easier to take him down when they get in a fight. Just 2 bullets for BenTeT, and he's down. AK going to be picked up by Staxo now without armor. Things could get a little bit scary for them. BenTeT's here with a nade as well. Hasn't deployed it just yet. As utility comes over, that's going to be lobbed straight down towards the back. Doesn't do too much damage. The T's not yet pushing on through. You can see them sitting back towards the back, the very back of apartments, and then eventually inching forward with that AK in hand. Pushing on forward. Oh, somebody's going to be completely blind. He's not able to get too much done. BenTeT, though, on the AUG. Surely going to be able to close this down. A couple of players flash, so they don't push him just yet. And the kills keep on going. Absolutely in favor of MVP. Molotov towards bench. Forces Staxo over into the corner. I think he's okay. Yeah, it's not going to spread to him. It's behind the bench. Retake coming out. Staxo's 1 hit with that or AK, rather. Not the AWP. And all in the hands of Sign as well. Oh, nice headshot. Sign's taken out. It's all on to Staxo. He's only got 9 HP. He's so easy to kill, but he gets 1. And the time is delayed. But ultimately, there should be more than enough time to get that defuse in, even without a kit. 9-8, but I mean, look at that weak buy that MVP pulled out, and yet still you see such a strong impact into the round. With a bomb plant as well, a full buy is easily possible. So that was more than a successful round for MVP. It may look bad because, okay, TYLOO won the round, sure, but MVP get money for an AWP, they get money for a full buy with AKs and majority utility, and TYLOO also lose so many players that the reinvestment into this round leaves them with a UMP and no money if they lose this. A super, super impactful round for MVP, considering they only bought 1 AK and 1 set of armor. Zeta's the one to open it up as well with the AWP that we were talking about on the T side. Now they bail out a middle, give up all control there, knowing that nobody should be re-peeking that. Summer tried to bait out a shot, but that's the best he can do to gain information on whether they're still posted up there. If you peek out, you're probably going to get taken down by the AWP. So now they've no intel on middle at all. They don't know if it's going to be a split through mid, towards A or towards B. And they're stuck, completely isolated. 2 islands of defense as it's a 2-2 hold over towards the B bomb site. You can already see a little bit of a rotation coming in from somebody who suspects it to be an A hit. He would be correct in that aspect as the AWP holds down. Xcurit's about to be completely smoked off, leaving his teammate all alone, unless he jumps up on top of Ticket. Summer has been spotted with a nade in his hand. He's taken down. He was thinking about throwing a flashbang, but you can't do that if you're dead. Push comes forward. Molotov on the bench. Should stop the push through, but they've got to be careful. My god, somebody just walked straight into the molly. He's taken down. Peek towards CT does result in Excurate going down to 50 HP. And with the money situation, I think it's time to save. 2v4, the retake isn't looking too likely for TYLOO, so they want to carry these weapons over to the next round, leaving MVP in a very, very strong position. They survive with 4 players, get a bomb plant, and double digits on the board. Combine this with the fact that in the next round, there'll only be 2 weapons in play against them. Unless TYLOO decide to force, which I definitely wouldn't want to see coming through. Bentet manages to secure the behind and at least stop any further damage from being done towards the CT side economy. MVP losing another player, it will hurt them a small bit. But ultimately, at the end of the day, this is a convincing scoreline starting to develop for MVP. If TYLOO force buy here, with 2 players double eco, they may well do. Indeed, this could separate these teams by a massive scoreline. The openings should leave it very much in favor of the T side as they managed to take down one of the weapons, one of the heavier weapons, the M4, I think. And the push in through Palace. Through the smoke, down goes Excurate, and this force buy for TYLOO is already over. Unless we see huge individual performances. Somebody comes in with 1 and we're into a 2 versus 3, but again, low HP on attacker. He's literally got 4 health on the board. Somebody pushes on through and gets another kill. Okay, this is winnable now. The AK-47 in hand, AWP is going to miss. That could cost Zeta everything. And with Staxo finding that kill, it should be fine. It should be okay. Attacker only has 4 HP. He's out of there with the op. You don't want to be maintaining any aggression with it. Realistically, you're probably going to die, and there's no point giving over an op for free. Especially as it is literally the only weapon they're going to have coming into this round. As this really should be an eco. 11-8. MVP pull out ahead yet again, and with the very, very weak economy of TYLOO right now, we don't want to see a force buy coming through. Get a pistol over towards attacker who's got armor. Excurate's going to glass cannon. It gives them some hope, but this should be MVP's round, and a 12th developed. At that point, TYLOO have 2 full buys between them and a loss. And 2 full buys and a force at least. It shouldn't be a clean road for MVP, but they are certainly looking a lot better. Spreading out into a default, they don't get any contact towards A just yet. You can see Zeta's posted up on CT, doesn't see anyone. He knows there's an op in play. So now you know he's probably not in CT at this point. Within the next 10 seconds or so, they'll probably conclude that. Then you're going to know he's either in window, which is unlikely with no presence on A, or he's going to be on B. If he's on B, the pistols are probably playing around him. And so you know you're probably safe to plant A. You can see that deduction going down right now. A little bit of a curiosity towards window, but, you know, realistically, he's not going to be holding there. He'd be too open towards an A push, a B flank, a mid push boost. Like, you don't want to give your opper that many opportunities to die. Opportunities. Get it? MVP are going to be saving over 5 weapons by the looks of things, as some weird stuff goes down. TYLOO at least securing themselves the AWP for the 2 rounds in a row. Means that as they come into a full buy up next, they won't be suffering too heavily. They'll have a lot more money to go around because Excurate's going to have like 4K, yeah, 4.1K. But with the T-side economy built up the way it is, you've got extra cash. If they lose this round, they can buy for 2 more, I think. Depending on if they get a bomb plant or not. And indeed kills. Primarily about the bomb plant. So TYLOO carrying forward the AWP means Execute stacked up on 3k. After just one eco, they'll be able to pull out another AWP alongside rifles. So definitely the solid save coming through. The logic behind saving with the other USPs is that if they get pushed down late, like if MVP had an SMG or they just sent 2 players towards B to try hunt, that you would at least be able to carry them forward. One of the USPs could pick up the op. Just increases your chances, extra targets to hit. If you don't know that, you're a dummy. MVP coming into a 5 versus 4. Low HP on Zeph already, but they've managed to trade it out by taking somebody down. With Zeph still being around, he can still get some damage done. He takes the AWP as well. A much more viable weapon to have on your low HP player. You can get the insta kills in. Execute takes Staxo. I mean, sending him alone towards the apartments when you know they've saved an op over in the previous round, maybe not the best of calls. You need to make sure you can trade that out. And so an opportunity missed as TYLOO took their op and they didn't miss. Extra picks off another, and Bentet on the bomb side is getting damage done. This is getting a little bit scary as we're into a 4 versus 2. Zeph's only got 2 HP as well. MVP at this point, look, they've got a lot of economy built up, but I don't think they're going to get a bomb plant here. And if Zeph dies after time, this could be very scary. He needs to die now. And luckily, they go hunting for the kill. 12-9. Another round built up for TYLOO, but here's MVP coming in with another full buy. Still got the money carried forward from just not losing a whole lot. And the Reds, they've been winning. They've survived with 5 players twice. So it puts them in a pretty nice spot economically. Smoke towards Con. Flash goes over the top. MVP should be, I mean, at least pulled back a little bit by that. No, they're undeterred. They're just rushing straight down middle blind. I like it. I respect it. I respect players that take risks. They want to split through A, and at the moment they have no control towards short, but that's fine because TYLOO have abandoned short and instead started to rotate over towards the safe bomb side. Attacker goes down in 1-for-1 trades. Nade going through from Summer. Not going to deal too much damage, if any. But Execute's looking for an angle, and eventually he's going to be gifted it as Zeta tries to take the pick towards short. A little bit over-aggressive. The bomb still has to be planted, and they have no control towards the bomb site where Bentet swings out to take the bomb planter. And the last player of Staxo was on stairs. He thought he had an angle onto Bentet, and indeed he did, but somebody was there to save the day and save over a second op for TYLOO. Looking much better on the CT side now than what we've seen from them so far in this tournament, indeed. Now, MVP have taken out a couple of pistols. They've only got 1 piece of armor. And so it's kind of built up to be TYLOO's round. But we've seen MVP lose this in this exact situation. They know there's an AWP over towards apartments. At least there was in the previous round. As the push comes down very quickly to try and eliminate him. Sign! Okay, that was awkward, but eventually manages to connect it. AWP in hand now. Looking for the player towards the back of the bomb site. Not going to find it, but the trades are down. And so we're into a 3 versus 3. MVP lose another player, but they could get the bomb planted if they can pick it up and retrieve it. Doesn't look like it, though, as Zeta is left all alone. He's able to pick up 1 on the P250. How much more can he give, though? 2 players left alive. AWP watching him from short, misses the shot. This could get a little bit awkward. A P250 up close, but no. Eventually, he's taken down. Still, 3 kills is decent damage for MVP to be connecting. It stops the CT side economy from getting out of control. But that scoreline is getting close. Now, as MVP should be going in for the full buy. They would have preferred to get the bomb plant just to give a little bit more room to maneuver economically. And they've got a Galil pulled out to allow for a little bit of extra utility. This is a little bit awkward. Flashbangs work out very well for MVP. Forcing Execute back off the angle and giving an opening kill. And mid control as well, which is super important. And they now have the opportunity to go towards whichever bomb site they want, with still 2 players outside of B, 1 in underpass and 1 all the way back in B apartments. There's no real direction just yet. As Zeph finds one on A, they have the opportunity to take things wherever they want. The apartments hold has gotten a little bit more aggressive, though. That Molotov is a little bit premature, just a couple seconds too early. They're going to look to split that B-bomb site as the apartments players push on forward. And indeed, they should be pretty successful. Only one player to hold down here. That is going to be somebody. He's already been spotted. They know exactly where he is. He picks up one on the AWP. The flashbangs do deter them from pushing forward a little bit faster, so he's able to get even more room to maneuver. And comes in with a beautiful little triple. Really good utility usage from Kitchen there to stop MVP from continuing to aggress. That gave somebody the time he needed to isolate players one at a time. On the back of a very good round for TYLOO, MVP are left in a position where economically they can afford to invest something, but they want to calculate out and make sure that they're still going to be left with a decent, well, the best buy that they could possibly want in the next round. A couple of pistols can be upgraded, but that's essentially all we want to see from them. TYLOO coming into things here with obviously the double up setup in the AUGs as well. MVP have decided to go for a couple of pistols. 2 Deagles in play, CZs to back them up. But it is essentially a save for the next round. They're bringing over their economy to get that full buy in round 11 of the half anyways. Summer is able to pick up one. Going to swing out on mid for more. And there's the second. MVP, like, nothing here is too interesting unless MVP managed to find 2 to 3 kills. The economy of the CTs is still pretty good, so they do need to deal damage in this round. But with each passing kill, it becomes less and less likely. There's 1 kill on the board for the Ts at least, but I don't think that's enough. Really, I wanted to see at least 2 from them. Because the reinvestment from TYLOO leaves them with a fairly strong buy if they lose this round. You can see everybody's fairly well stacked. AWPs, AUGs coming out. You've still got at least 2.5k on every player except for attacker. And TYLOO 13 to 12, they've reclaimed the lead. But here's their big test. A victory here should push them to 15-12 as MVP invest almost everything into this round, leaving them with little to no room if they lose this one. It would be AKs alongside very little utility if they wanted to contest. Most likely they would just wait and try to hit the overtime with 3 in a row. MVP take their time. They've got a little bit of mid-control. Players towards apartments. We've seen this from them before. Not giving away any clear direction early on. Wanting to claim middle and see where things take them from there. TYLOO's still posted up with a double op setup though. Have complete control of apartments. As well as a player on ticket that can pretty effectively swing out and help connector if the push comes up. There's no real openings for MVP right now. They've got to create their own. Molotov goes through over towards short to stop the push from coming over to the bomb site itself, but Staxo is coming through the apartments. He's getting some damage done himself. Sign and Zeph get the kills, and there's Zeph with another down to a 2 versus 1. Excurate has to pull it off with an AWP. In what is not the most important round for TYLOO, but definitely one that could have left, or would have led to a very probable victory for them. Switches over to the AK. This makes it much more doable. You can land a shot onto one player and then switch over to the other. Zev's holding down up close, though, as you can see. He has assistance from the bomb site, so even if he was taken down, Sign could instantly swing out. You would need a spray transfer straight away. 13-13, all tied up here. MVP are attempting to make that comeback happen, to pull themselves back in the lead. They've just reclaimed it and put it into a tie anyways against TYLOO. And if they win this one, it's probably 15 on the board for them. As TYLOO have very little money, their economy is dwindling. MVP changing their strategy. They're going for a fairly fast push towards A. Not as many AWPs in play, so no op to be in position over towards CT. Instead, it's Connector, but smoked off now. Excurate has a pretty difficult spot ahead of him. Although Sign and HSK are both down on low HP, the bomb is planted. Oh, Zeta's down as well. This could be so dangerous. Coming in up against the Augs. They will shred these guys. Why are you pushing through the smoke? Zeta was 9 HP and decided to get aggressive. That's not the play. Especially not when it's already being spammed. Even if someone flashes in for you. They still probably have favor in that engagement. If they close their eyes, spin their mouse around, and spray that Aug, they're probably going to kill you. Especially with 2 of them there. But TYLOO ultimately decide to leave the bomb site. They don't want a 3v4. Obviously not knowing how low HP these MVP players are. That could have been around for TYLOO if they committed to it. But obviously they have no way of knowing. And so it's just unfortunate. But they're able to carry over 3 weapons. Giving them at least a chance to fight for it if they want to force up. Somebody... and Bentet or Excure could drop over weapons towards Summer and Attacker and at least get them some kind of weaponry. Whether that be SMGs, pistols. But it looks like they want to play this round as a a bonus round. That's the word we use. Bonus. So the whole idea here, see if you can win with the Augs and the op, and if you don't, you can at least buy directly afterwards. But again, TYLOO have to win the early game. If they don't find picks straight away, it's probably going to be a save again coming through. To carry forward what weaponry they can, it doesn't matter. They've torn them apart. What's happened? Summer's able to come in on the CZ with a quick double. Support from Excurate and Bentet, and the weapons are more than enough. MVP walks straight into the stack, and they get shredded. It's only Staxo with an op left. And the dream of 15-13 no longer exists. TYLOO have shut them down, and with 1 kill, I mean, Staxo, it doesn't really matter. TYLOO have kept this close, and kept themselves in it. MVP will still get a lot of money, so the full buy should come through in the next round. Saving over at this point, there's another 40 seconds to attempt it. I mean, so early on and so quickly. TYLOO just snatched that round out of the hands of MVP. They played it so fast as well, considering that they were up against, okay, 3 saved over weapons, but you know that the other guys probably have, at best, pistol and armor, or maybe SMG and armor. To rush straight in towards that bomb site is perhaps a little bit too risky. But it worked out in the previous round, but even still, the previous round was a little bit more structured and a little bit slower. With time running out, Staxo does successfully carry over the AWP, and with him not getting any loss bonus due to surviving the round, you will obviously see the rest of MVP forcing up around him. As they pull out AKs and utility, it's one last chance. Now MVP, if they lose the round, have the best chance of taking it to overtime, because their loss bonus is pretty decent. TYLOO, on the other hand, if they don't manage to win, they'll have a lot of weaker weapon. Well, they'll have a weaker weapon on somebody. (14-14). We're going the distance to 30 rounds, but who's going to be taking it, or are we going to see an overtime? That's the question. Push comes over towards short from Bentet, who's just spotting it out, jumping around, seeing if he can see anybody. Evidently not getting any info. The nade doesn't connect too much either, although Staxo and HSK are already pretty low. The jump spot from somebody. Not getting any info, as MVP are still towards the top of middle. You can see how the previous rounds impacted them. From straight rushing A from spawns to now taking it much slower than they have even in the past. Maybe TYLOO getting in their heads a little bit. Short control going to be seized just to allow a little bit of security for the players coming on through the connector. It is going to be an A split very slowly though. Staxo is still over towards the spawn. They've already pushed out. This is a little bit staggered from MVP, but they find the opening kill. No idea that attacker's here in the close corner though. He doesn't know. Oh, now he has the information players coming in through Palace. He's going to be able to peek out, find a kill, catch them off guard in even a second. No communication, as he was just allowed to find that second kill without Staxo even looking towards him, and he had to rush all the way from T-spawn back over. Like we said, MVP have a decent loss bonus built up. But even still, they are going to be hurting in this round. And they've really got to think about where they're going to take things. On 15 to 14, this could swing into an overtime. Or we could be going all the way. All the way to a 1-1 scoreline. With 30 rounds no matter what. But TYLOO looking definitely reminiscent of their previous performance here on Mirage in the previous map that we saw played up against Boot. Except it was a much better T side. This time it's their CT side that's really shining through for them. They found 9 rounds so far, and they're looking for that 10th. Everything they could possibly want in this round. They've got a double op setup. They've got AUGs all around, full utility. And you can see by MVP's buy, it could certainly be better for that T side. SMG's coming out. Zeta and Sign probably going to go along the same road. The pause is called off. They still haven't bought. They still haven't bought. There we go. Galil's coming out. 3 Galils, an AK, and a UMP. And looking over towards the CT side, obviously they are massively favored coming into this round on utility, on hardware, just in every single way. And this is a good setup on B as well. One that we've seen have a lot of success for TYLOO in the past as well. Somebody holding down the AWP. Somebody with an AWP, like we said, holding down very long range. You've got Bentet over towards the bomb site itself that's ready to bait them in with that op and then find the kills. But that's not the case for this time. They won't get to test that setup out at all against MVP because they're looking for the A split. Push comes forward, and we're going to see trades going down straight away, but the T side come out on top, at least for now. A man advantage in play as well. A player spotted coming up connected, but I don't think Sign was quite aware of that, which could lead to that bomb being dropped. Maybe not, though, because Sign picks up another, and it's all on Bentet. 1v3. It looks like we're going to an overtime to see who's able to take this. I mean, TYLOO at the moment, they're looking good on their CT side, but unfortunately not good enough to bring us over the line. 9-6 to the CT side in both halves. We're hitting an OT. Well, we are sitting here in the warm-up. Don't worry, it's not live. We're chilling. And on 15 to 15, it's certainly set up to be one of the closest games that we've seen coming through in this qualifier. We had a double overtime before, but that was in a best of 3. TYLOO have certainly recovered as well from the last time that we saw, or the last couple of times we've even seen them play. As just in general, I feel like they left us wanting a lot. They haven't yet played MVP, but... Oh, sorry, they did, yeah. 2-1 last time they played MVP. Managing to pick up that one map, but then ultimately they were dropped down to the lower bracket because of that loss. And if you think back to the series, we saw Train coming out there. But Mirage was the second map, and it was a much more convincing scoreline. Like we said, still just chilling in the warm-up. Don't worry about it. Don't get panicked. Don't get stressed. I'm just checking if there's any tech issues, because I know TYLOO have had a lot of internet issues. Admin chat doesn't show anything, so we should be good. Just waiting for them to ready up. Plain and simple. But yeah, last time they played 16-11, MVP absolutely wiped the floor with TYLOO. TYLOO found 8 rounds on the T side and then only 3 on CT. The same kind of thing happened in the previous game, where we saw TYLOO up against Boot really struggle on their CT side. Right now, they've recovered their issues in the last hour. But really, you have to wonder, is it to the extent that we're going to see things flip back over in their favor? Are they going to be able to recover CT on the overtime and claim 2 rounds in T? I think it's possible. This MVP may be slow to start, though. So we got to check out what's going on. Let me drop a message to the admins and see what the crack is. I have 3 started. Okay, so we're going to be jumping in now in just a minute. No tech issues, thankfully. Because I know if you guys have watched some of the TYLOO games so far, just in this qualifier alone, they've like dropped out of the game in the middle of rounds. They've had 2 players just DC randomly. They've been like 20 minutes late starting a game. Unfortunately, they're having a lot of net issues. But not today. Today we're Gucci. Fairly soon. And there you go. As the alert, the game will be restarted. That's what always tells us we're going to be going over into a live game. Match is live. We're ready to jump in. That's 15-15. All the players have readied up. And we'll see who's going to be taking this now. MVP coming into things with a full buy. They've only taken out the 1 AWP, obviously because they're on the T side. You don't want to be pulling out a double hop setup. At least most people don't. We've seen triple hop setups in the past on the T side. They went well for a little bit. But it's never really ideal. Even just based on investment value. Not worth it. Flashbangs come in, and it's going to be mid-control once again, sought after by MVP. They send one in through underpass. But TYLOO again taking the passive stance in middle. They're allowing them to take that area. They're allowing them to burn up their utility and waste that clock down. And they're going aggressive in the B apartments. Benset secures a man advantage onto a very much unaware Staxo. As Staxo's caught off guard. A man advantage for TYLOO. Sees them with still no control over middle, and Seed actually pulls it back onto somebody who was trying to get a little bit aggressive there. Nice shots by Bentet, though. A 3rd kill on the board. As the push continues to come on in, Zeph's going to try to shut him down, and indeed does. Got to watch out for that AWP. Spotted towards the back of the bomb site. It's actually, sorry, it's an AUG on attacker. The op is on the rotation through kitchen. Eventually, things are going to come to an end. 16-15 in favor of TYLOO. As the flank from Summer on short was just a little bit too much to be messed around with. TYLOO looking good to start it off with 1 round on the board here on their CT side. But we're still moving on. We're still grinding forward on the MVP side. Obviously, they've got 16k on the board to start things off, so plenty of money to get a full buy out now and indeed in the next round. TYLOO getting ready to spam. There it is. Headshot onto Zeph. That's a little bit awkward. 44 health without even seeing anybody. Nades coming on forward, and the AWP as somebody's able to pick up 1. Spam's not seeing any further damage to come through. He gets a 2nd on the board, though, as they come out through the balcony. And on top of the van, at least that's going to be a kill for HSK, but still into a 2v4 with 50 HP on both players as well. This is not easy to overcome. Molotov pushes HSK off the van as well. In the apartment still, Xena picks up one. Then TYLOO has to be very careful not to throw this away. They've taken 1-for-1s, or 1-by-1 duels. All by the lonesome. Molotov over towards the window. Flashbang should stop the push through the smoke in doorway and give a bomb plant over to the T side. Attacker holding the right angle catches HSK completely off guard. Apparently took that damage from Staxo. Zeta being last alive. He's not going to last too much longer. Defuse for the CT side, and TYLOO on track for a flawless scoreline. One more round needed for the T side now, and or the CT side. If they find this, it means it's impossible for them to lose in overtime. As we swap over after this round, they'll be on their T side, and then they would only need one round. So this is super important for MVP to come out on top. So the pause here isn't going to be to talk about the buy. They can easily get a full buyout. No problems at all. The question that they're going to be asking is, where do they take things? What's the strategy? What are TYLOO doing that they can counter? MVP consistently going for the middle control. They've gone for splits. But the thing is that I feel like they're going a little bit too slowly when they do push in towards bomb sites. It is. Oh, it's actually TYLOO calling for a technical pause, not a tactical for MVP. I was thinking that probably taking a little bit longer than you would normally see. So a technical pause underway. By the looks of things, we might be here for a little while. So I'm going to throw in a little bit of music. I assume it's probably going to be another net issue, which is really unfortunate for TYLOO because it slows down their momentum, and that's really not going to help them. We'll throw in a little bit of music, and I'll let you know if there's any update on the tech.
Nervous with the cold drink in my two hands, saying no thanks. Like any way it goes, cause I know things they shouldn't have told me. Now I'm thinking what for? Hanging by a sentence at the drugstore, barely even steady out the front door. Hate my own things, but I love yours. Yeah, I really love yours. 7 in the afternoon, half asleep, count the cars. All I think about is you, constantly. That's the hard part. Found myself waking in the same clothes, shaking from my temple to my ankles. Sunny, but I need another raincoat. Waiting by a payphone, finally I coughed up some awful information that I thought of. Well, they think I've been messing with the wrong stuff. Nah, I've been messing with the right stuff. Yeah, I think I might just waiting for the call to come. Who could say
And we're back, ready to jump on in. Technical issues resolved. TYLOO are ready to show us what they've got. We're coming into the CT side. 17-15. One last round of this half of overtime. If TYLOO win, they take away the ability for MVP to find victory in overtime number 1. It would then have to be OT number 2 or a victory for TYLOO in the map. As MVP come into this with an AWP and 4 AKs, they're going to be shifting their way over towards middle control once more. This time focusing a little bit more heavily towards the bottom. Other than that, it's pretty much the same setup that we've seen from them again and again. And the problem for me is if they decide to split towards A, they have very little presence towards ramp or indeed palace. And they've consistently found themselves in awkward spots because of the ramp and palace players. But you can see Sign already starting a rotation over towards the T spawn and the B side of it. Oh, nice shot by Zeta as well. Just catches the head of somebody, which means it's probably going to be a push towards the B bomb site. Just based on the fact that Sign had already left A. Nice shot by Zeph as well. A nice position more so. The shot was easy. Nice to where he'd set himself up. Going out towards A like that, though, I don't really agree with the bomb. He's going to wrap through spawn. They're so staggered. Look how slow they are going there as a group. HSK is looking to find one towards the CT spawn, but it looks like we're watching a deathmatch server. There's very little direction from the T side. They've already sent 2 players towards A. Now they fake it out and take Bentet down as he was trying to rotate through short. So it's worked out pretty well. But it was very messy. They gave a lot of opportunities for the 1v1s to be won out by TYLOO. And that's how they've been suffering so heavily in a lot of these T rounds. Leaving only Summer, though, pushing out. He's walking into everybody's vision. He's low HP as well. There was no chance of that going towards him, really. And so with a 17-16 scoreline, that is going to be the end of the first half of overtime. So 2-1 to TYLOO. The first team to reach 19 here finds a victory. So it has to either be MVP taking 3 in a row, or TYLOO taking 2 out of 3. If neither team manages to make it to 18, or to 19 rather, and it goes 18-18, we will hit another overtime and start the whole process again. So 19 is the magic number, 18-18 is another OT. As we come into it, MVP have had themselves a pretty decent CT side. So the possibility for a 2-1 kind of stands as the most probable to me. You're consistently going to be expecting, just based on how the first half played out, that we will see another overtime coming to fruition. Both teams at a 9-6 scoreline, but that kind of sets it up probability-wise for an interesting scenario to develop. Where each team is likely to find like 2 out of 4 rounds. Or 3 out of 4, sorry, on their CT side. So eventually, it has to end. But it's really hard to pick a favorite, and just based on how TYLOO have been playing on their CT so far, maybe you give them a little bit of favor, maybe you say their momentum's going to carry them through. But I feel like MVP weren't losing because of their individuals, they weren't losing because of their positioning. It was, well, partially because of their positioning, but not to the point that it would affect their CT side. I think it was just really poorly timed aggression without just thinking about individuals. Without anybody else to back up the individuals, and that's not what you like to see from a T side. TYLOO, oh, they're not lacking direction early on. Look at this, coming straight down middle, barreling towards connector. MVP have already got a little bit of a passive B hold. Staxo starts to rotate over, though, to play a little bit more passive, or more aggressive, rather. Spotting out for the apartments push, but TYLOO are looking towards the A bomb site, where they've already found 1 kill on the board on the MVP side. Sign finds a second. He coming out with the AWP. Zeta's able to pick up 1 and a second, even connected onto attacker. He had actually legged him through his teammate, and that is it. The round's over. TYLOO failing to get around on the board early on. 2 more attempts. Now, whichever team finds 2 in a row is the one that flies on through and finds the victory. But, again, 1-for-1s look far more likely in this situation. Another pause comes through. Hopefully not a technical one. It's going to be a tactical timeout on the part of TYLOO. It's already been called off, as TYLOO evidently have got their direction planned. They know what they're going to do here. An attacker 0 for 2 across 34 rounds. Now, obviously, he DC'd and reconnected after a tech issue. So it resets, unfortunately. But I believe he's had a really good game. Check Hazel TV, actually. As we come into the round, MVP holding down on the CT side, obviously with their AWP in play, and there it is. Zeta, just to exemplify how well he's been doing on the op, finds the opening pick for the CT side. Begins the round fairly convincingly for MVP. This is not what TYLOO want to see. There's still a possibility for them to lose here in this overtime, don't forget. As we look towards MVP, 2 players on the A-bomb site. They already lose 1 in jungle, which is a little bit awkward. Zeta's been spotted up on top of Ticket, but nobody's doing anything about it as Xcure gets taken down. Flashbang going to be dropped inside the smoke, but somebody can still see, even despite him being 4 HP. Definitely not the ideal situation for him to run into an aim duel, so he picks up an AWP, decreasing the chance that he gets into a one-on-one fight. He's hoping to land the first bullet. This is a little bit awkward, though. Zeta's found the angle to trade back his teammate and keep it into a man advantage for the CT side, even despite the bomb plant. That means nothing in terms of economy. In overtime, 16k, you always have money. Great shot by somebody as he peeks up, and the 4 HP player continues to have impact. Flashbang over will stop Zeta from pushing through as he was already blind. Bentet holding down. This round now becomes very convincingly in favor of TYLOO. Time is on their side. The AWP battle is going to have to come through onto the very low HP somebody. He's looking to peek up. Shot connected. Zeta needs to land one more. He hits some P250 out and finishes him off. And I think time is there. Absolutely. Plenty of time left over. As MVP 18-17 pull off the 2v2 retake. And Zeta just goes over to show his opponent what he thinks of him. 18-17. TYLOO, 1 round away from losing after being 2-1 up in the first half of overtime. After a good CT side, they did everything that they possibly could, but it's not looking too good for them right now. MVP just need this 1 more round. If they can capitalize on this, TYLOO will have lost. But if TYLOO figured out the setup, do they know what MVP are doing? As MVP set up effectively the same. Oh, that nade is good. A few minor changes. The Behold is going to be a little bit more passive with early Molotovs as they suspect TYLOO to decide on a fast B rush, which was successful for TYLOO a lot during regulation. So definitely something that they do want to get rid of. Run boost comes through, but it's not exactly going to work. Awkwardly slumped into middle. Xcure, it's just going to keep on walking with the AWP. He's committing to it. Four Augs and an AWP. 1 minute on the clock. TYLOO need to win this, or they'll be 2-0 down in the series and have to win 3 maps in a row. It starts out with their map pick, but that may not matter. Because right now, MVP are definitely looking like the favorite team. They're looking stronger in every single way. 1 more round, and here we go. Molotov goes in. There's only 2 players to defend, and completely sandwiched in sandwich. Sign will struggle to find anything past that initial opening kill. HSK comes in to help out a little bit, though, and he's going to be finding one alongside Zeph from short. Oh, Bentet doesn't know he's being shot from short. He's 17 HP. A 4 versus 2. TYLOO torn to shreds. Bentet's last alive. 17 HP. Full blind. Zeph peeks him, takes him down, and just like that, MVP secure a 2-map advantage here.